It's the 127th annual Barnstable Falmouth Thanksgiving Day football game, and it's on Barnstable B2B TV. And from the broadcast booth sitting high above Leo Shields Memorial Field, I'm Daniel Bartolino with Marcus Lyons, wishing you and yours a very happy Thanksgiving, wherever you may be. Marcus, absolute pleasure to be with you here on a beautiful, perfect day for football and one of the all-time great uh, holiday traditions in America, the annual Thanksgiving Day football game. And we've got a doozy here, Barnstable and Falmouth with their 94th annual meeting on Thanksgiving. These are two teams that have had very different seasons this year. Falmouth went 7-2, making the playoffs. Barnstable 3-7. But what's key for Barnstable taking the win on Thanksgiving for the third straight year?
Well, one thing that's key is there have been certain games where the offense will either look like they are great and in perfect sync, and then you have some games where it looks like they just can't move. They need to channel the things that they do in these games where the offense is on point and moving the football effectively downfield. And whatever in those games where they can't seem to move, you've got to try to think, well, whatever we did do well, we got to try to reflect that in this game and put points on the board, because that's sometimes been an inconsistency with this team.
And in last year's meeting, Barnstable took care of business 42-7, but Eugene Jordan ran for 3 TDs. That year, obviously, Barnstable no longer with him, and they felt that loss throughout this season.
And the run game, while it certainly did have its moments where it did look spectacular, obviously it's hard to, get the exact same talent you get out of Eugene Gordon with
And
an entirely different running crew as the team starts to take the field.
Barnstable running out onto the field, led by Barney the Red Hawk, Will Raubke, the senior captain, playing in his final game, holding the Red Hawk flag. Barnstable, as we mentioned, last time they lost was in 2018. 2019 they won. 2020 that obviously was not a Thanksgiving game, as that season got postponed to the spring of 2021. This is their last Thanksgiving game at home since that 2019 showdown, and it is great to be here. Great atmosphere, obviously, as usual. Thanksgiving games, the alums are back. A lot of Lettermans here, as packed of a road section as we've seen for any game this year, with the fans, friends, and family all coming out for this one.
That's one thing you definitely got to say is the Falmouth fans, they know that, they find this game very important just as much as the Barnstable fans do. The road fans are always going to find their way out to the opposing field to catch this game live with their own eyes.
Yeah, just a short trip through Mashpee to get here. This is the 41st oldest rivalry in all of the country. This one dating back to first meeting 1895. These teams have played 94 times on Thanksgiving. Barnstable leading the series 47-43 to 4 on Thanksgiving and 65-63 to 8 overall. Barnstable coming in, they haven't lost since 2018, as we had previously mentioned. They haven't lost. They've only lost the one time in the Jacola era. So they're looking to keep that up. Falmouth, just to recap their season a little bit while we have the time here. They started off the year with a win to open their season. Then they would lose their only regular season game in week 2. They rattled off 5 straight wins heading into the playoffs. Then fell to Grafton 31-0 in the opening round of the playoffs. They won a non-playoff consolation game. And that brings us here. Barnstable and Falmouth will get to Barnstable season in a second as they do the coin toss here. Mooney, Robke, Wiseman, and Ford, Barnstable's captains out there. And on the other side, it's Garcia, Gomes, Young, and North for Falmouth. And Barnstable, as we mentioned, their season didn't go exactly as planned. 3-7 record coming into this one. Dropped their first 3 games, rattled off 2 straight wins, then lost their final regular season games, then a heartbreaker and a non-playoff consolation postseason game. Before winning last time out against Newton North to get their 3rd win. But all of that, they can forget about all of that with a win against Falmouth.
Yeah. And again, there were moments during the season where you saw what we wanted out of this team. It was all just a matter of whether or not they were going to actually do it week in and week out. But when they did do it, they looked like a very great football team.
So the teams take their sides. Barnstable will receive the football when we kick off this morning, as teams all around the East Coast preparing for that 10 o'clock Thanksgiving Day start. We'll see if either team comes out tired.
The tradition again continues of the road team having their more energetic meetup after the coin toss.
So we will step away from the national anthem. Thanksgiving Day at Barnstable High, Barnstable and Falmouth. The two schools' pep bands combining to perform the national anthem there. Very nicely done from both schools here on this Thanksgiving Day. Couldn't have asked for better weather. 43 degrees. Really no clouds in the sky either. And just a beautiful day for Thanksgiving football. The alums still filing in. As we applaud Jason Labor. Veteran. It's been big in our community. Lieutenant Jason Labor. So, number 54, Harrison Bourgine will kick it away for Falmouth. The 95th Thanksgiving Day meeting. Barnstable and Falmouth, we are underway with a squib kick to the up man, and he'll get to the 42-yard line. Interesting decision. Late flag comes in on number 52. Rowan Ashley. You could see Karan Ford was asking for it, and he might have gotten it chippy early, perhaps.
I think that was actually number 45, Connor LeBanc. He threw down someone way after the whistle while in that kind of pile up on the tackle. Definitely worthy of a flag. Very unnecessary throwdown.
And that could put Barnstable on the other side of the field if it is what we suspect it is. Long discussion happening by the officials.
Well, this is a rivalry game. I guess we can't be too surprised that things are going to be very physical today.
And we'll see how these teams keep their emotions in check. These seniors playing in their final game. Long wait here. Bit of a slow start to start a highly anticipated matchup. Obviously, the oldest rivalry on Cape. A trophy rivalry. Still discussing this. You wonder if this is beyond just this one play, discussing how they want to handle these kind of things the rest of the game.
Especially when you see certain things like that early in a game, especially on the opening kickoff, it can often set a tone for how an official calls a game. To try to prevent things from going any further than they do on that first play.
Neither or the refs haven't moved the ball up or shown any implications of doing so. And now they go. Barnstable will get excellent field position. And they are on the other side of midfield. They'll have it at the 44-yard line. Dead ball, personal foul is the call. So how about that to start this thing off? And Aiden Kundle, the junior QB, will lead the offense out with great field position. He'll be alone in the backfield. They made the quarterback switch during week 3. A man comes in motion. It's J.J. Martin, the senior. He'll get the carry. He'll find an opening. And now the ball pops free, but he's got to be down. Number 86, Colby Fender, picked the ball up. That's going to be a gain of 7 on the first play from scrimmage.
And this team loves those end-around run plays to the outside. Well, they'll most likely call plenty of those.
And you see number 3 out there, Chevy Shakespeare. He's been sidelined since early in the season with a dislocated knee injury, but he's back. And here's Karan Ford picking up the first down. Inside the 30-yard line, Karan Ford, the sophomore, down to the 27. Shakespeare, massive part of their offense early on this season. They certainly happy to have him back. And it's a QB keeper. Kundle looking for an opening, gets blasted. Number 11, the receiver / DB, the 6'2" Cole Spellman, stopping him in his tracks.
That's a strong hit and a clean hit at that. But Aiden Kundle gets right back up. Does
pick up of 4. Kundle looking to the sideline for the signal. So they go no huddle. Screen pass to Shakespeare. His first touch, cutting inside to the 20. Right near the first down marker. I believe he's going to be just short. It'll be a 3rd and inches. Kundle. He's played well this season. All things considered, as Ford will pick up the first to the 16-yard line. So move the chains.
This is a good start so far. The run game has been the more dominant part of their offense throughout this season. And they're using it a lot on this drive.
And the screen pass to Ford, that's going to be incomplete. It was a forward pass. We should mention, obviously, the stark differences in records, but Barnstable, higher division and a much tougher schedule. To put in perspective, almost all of Falmouth's games were on Cape. playing, the Martha's Vineyards and the Nantuckets of the world, and no disrespect to those teams. Barnstable, almost all of their games, this is their first game against the Cape team.
Huh.
Handoff, Martin, and he'll go down after a gain of maybe a yard. It's third and long. Probably 4-down territory. This team hasn't kicked since the first score of the season. Taking a shot to the end zone. That's caught. And what's the call? Out of bounds.
It didn't look like he had gotten the feed in. He made a great catch, but I think he had gotten knocked out of bounds in midair.
Nice play by the defender. Not a bad throw at all. Just a well-executed play on both ends.
It's good to see they execute the play well. They've struggled sometimes in these passing third downs, but a good throw there, just a better defensive play to keep it out of bounds.
So unsurprisingly, Barnstable going for it on fourth down. Man comes in motion. It's Kundle rolling, sets, fires. No one down there as he had to get rid of it. And it's a turnover on downs.
And that was strong pressure by Falmouth. He tried to roll out to create space, but the pressure was coming from that edge. He really had nowhere to go.
Barnstable can't capitalize on the good field position. And led by senior captain Aiden North, out comes Falmouth. And the scouting report on them, they're going to run, and they're going to run a lot.
Well, almost similar to how Barnstable operates their offense. They love to run the football a lot.
And unsurprisingly, run. Kurt Campbell started all the way.
He's been great on that D-line all year.
Kurt Campbell, the junior, they got another year of him. They got another year of a lot of strong players. They look to be an improved team next year, as on these Thanksgiving games. Obviously, the focus on today, but you do look ahead to next year a little bit.
Well, you have to be glad with one thing. You've got a good quarterback that you're going to have next year in Aiden Kundle, and you've got a lot of good players on this defense in particular.
Oh, yeah. As here's a toss to the outside, try to turn the corner. He's got to be tripped up after a short gain. That was Jamison Murphy, the junior. This is a guy 6'2", just the junior, still growing.
This has got to be scary to see a guy that big running towards you in a high school football game.
So 3rd and 8 coming up here. And it's got to be a handoff to him. He bulldozed through a few people, but he eventually is tripped up well short of the first down. And they will be forced to punt as they send the unit out there. Barnstable, just to go back to the seniors for a second. Jacola, we asked them earlier this week about what's going to stand out about this particular senior class. There's each class kind of makes them unique. And he used 3 words to describe them. He said, their grit, their dedication, and their brotherhood. As that punt's going to be absolutely shanked. And that's going to take a Barnstable bounce all the way back to the 20 before it's kicked out of bounds. And I don't believe that was blocked. It was just a bad punt. And Barnstable, for the second straight drive, is going to get excellent field position. This time, even better.
And the punter he tried to turn his body to try to aim that punt a specific direction, and he almost turned it towards where the pressure was coming, and then almost like he panicked, and he just didn't get a good kickoff.
I don't even know if that got past the line of scrimmage. That ball, had it taken a friendly bounce, would be a little bit better, but that absolutely took an awful bounce going straight back. So Barnstable takes over at the 21, and here's Shakespeare trying to get to the edge, turns the corner, and breaks free, but the ball might have came loose.
It definitely did. And I believe
there's a flag on the play. Defense coming out for Barnstable as that ball did come loose far side. It's just a matter of what the flag is right now. It was recovered by Falmouth. Far side, tough to see from our angle.
Well, it was a strong hit there by one of the Falmouth defenders, and you got Shakespeare trying to break through some tackles, and
But the penalty's got to be against Barnstable to move it up. So despite the bad punt, they immediately get the ball back.
Yeah, and that's what having a good defense will do for you. They'll get you out of bad situations.
So it's essentially a fourth down conversion. They're a weird start to this one. Not the first time we've seen a weird start for Barnstable this year.
I mean, opening night, they got a fumble on the opening kickoff of the season.
If I'm not mistaken, there's scores on the first 3 drives of that game, then no more the rest of the way.
Yeah.
So we've seen weird starts. This is definitely one of them. From the 24, dropping back the pass, taking a shot to big number 88 there, looking for Jaden Benhart, the 6'4 senior. Couldn't connect. Level on the coverage.
That was, I think, just a bit of an overthrow combined with good coverage to hold up from getting as far downfield as he wanted.
It's going to be Bernhardt and Spellman when they do throw the ball, the 2 main guys. Spellman, number 11. Man comes in motion, and it's an option. He's going to pitch it to him, and he's going to be bottled up. Team tackle, Tony White in there, as well as Brendan Silva. And it's 3rd down and the long after a pickup of 2.
Well, interestingly, last 3rd and long that Falmouth had last drive, they tried to keep running the football. We'll see if this time they change up, knowing how that resulted last time.
So 3rd and 8. It's going to be a fake on the pitch. Looking downfield, nothing there. So he's going to check it down. Big hit comes by Silva. He knocked the ball free, and it's incomplete. Would have been short of the first down anyways, but the junior Silva, another one of this class of 2024, coming through with the blast.
And you could tell that he wanted to go downfield. He had the time to make his reads, but didn't really see anything, so he just decided to check it down, and even that got stopped.
And it's Evan Hopman, the punter, back for another try, and this time he also doesn't get a good punt away. This one a little bit better, but taking a Barnstable bounce again, and it's just not his day to start it off at least. That's going to be down at the 31.
Well, this is the 3rd straight drive Barnstable starting in Falmouth territory. They haven't converted yet. Almost feel like it's only a matter of time before they can.
For a game that's kind of heavy run, it feels like it's crawling a little bit here.
Yeah.
Only halfway through the opening quarter.
You can almost see it with the start where they started with that long pause after the late hit.
So from the 31, a little bit better of a punt this time. It's an option. And Kundo is going to decide to keep it. He has an opening down at the 16-yard line. Big pickup from the junior quarterback.
Well, that should stop some of the crawling. He, I guess, heard us and decided, let's move the football a little bit now.
Pickup of 16 from Kundo. Good decision to keep it. So in the red zone, Shakespeare comes in motion. That's where the ball will go. He has an opening, cuts in, but a very nice tackle there. I believe it was number 35, Jackson Mahoney, who made the initial stop.
And that's going to be another big piece to this game, is making the key tackles at the right times. We've already seen Falmouth make some big defensive plays, what with the forced fumble and now that tackle on a play that could have easily broken big.
And now here's J.J. Martin trying to shred some tackles. Picks up a handful. This is a Falmouth team only allowing 12 points per game. They've had a shutout this season as well. It's a staunch defense. 21 points they've scored per game, 12 allowed per game.
I could definitely see this end up being a low-scoring game with the way that these two defenses. We've seen Barnstable also can stuff opponents effectively with their defense when they need to.
This is a rivalry where we've seen some high-scoring games in the past. Last time Falmouth won, they were able to put up 36, a 36-14 win. These games have a tendency to be not so close, but it always seems like they go back and forth. As here's Martin breaking tackles down after picking up the first down inside the 5, down at the 4.
And that was they've thrown a lot of screen passes on their throws so far in this game. That was another one of those, and Martin able to get away from the tackles and move the chains.
Barnstable on the cusp of a touchdown. Martin comes in motion. Kundo pitches to Martin, juggles, catches, and scores! J.J. Martin with the touchdown to strike first on Thanksgiving.
And boy, if he hadn't been able to hold on to that football, that would have been a disaster. But he's able to hold on, and he's got the space to keep going after he gets control of that football.
He juggled that all the way to the 1 before finally getting a grasp on it.
And no surprise, they're going for 2.
Kundal with White next to him. It's got to be the Statue of Liberty. We've seen that early this season against Mansfield, but Falmouth has been watching film, I guess. Yeah. It's one of those trick plays. You use it once, they're going to be ready for it. And they were. Jacola getting this crowd hyped up. Much more people above the age of 18 than we see at any point this season.
Thanksgiving, it's always the one game you know is going to be packed, whether or not the teams are good or bad.
Absolutely. People coming home, alums coming home for the weekend for Thanksgiving. Tradition for many families, even the ones that haven't had kids at the school for, a decade plus. So it's always great to see. They might not know a single kid on this roster, but they'll show up for their school. So Barnstable up early, 6-0, 3:21 to play first quarter as they finally strike after having good field position on their third drive.
And now we have to see if Falmouth is finally going to get something going on their offense. It's been rough for them starting this game.
They'll send it away, and it'll be taken from the 15, and he drops it. Bobble scoops it up, and now finds an opening, and he's in a foot race. And now the ball is popped free. It's peanut punched by Lovell. It's a race for it, and Falmouth's going to recover. Oh, my goodness. And now, just now, Lovell is realizing that Barnstable didn't recover. Down on the play is Darren Thomas. But a great effort play there, even though Barnstable didn't come out with it. That was wild.
And even the special teams for Falmouth has been sketchy so far. They muff the kick, look like they might go for a touchdown return, and then almost give it away on their way to the end zone.
It was Thomas and Lovell chasing him from behind. Looked like it was going to be a big return. Yeah, just a classic punch.
It turns out there's a flag on the play, too, that we missed.
So had Barnstable recovered, it would have been their ball for sure. And, yeah, just a flag that we totally missed. So place them at the 19 because it's 15 yards from the spot. So forget about the good field position. I don't know what's going on in this game right now.
The whole play was a roller coaster.
So just to recap, he muffed the kickoff, picked it up, ran it for about 30, 40 yards. It was peanut punched out. Barnstable had a shot at it, couldn't get it. And then there was a flag on the play as cutting in and out to the 26 is the ball carrier for Falmouth, number 30, Colin Giovanni. Barnstable with their pep rally yesterday down on Hyannis Main Street. Obviously, all the teams, fall sports teams, were showcased in that one. Getting people ready for today. North hands it off. No, he keeps it. Pardon. To 30. Breaking forward to the 34-yard line. Move the chains. For the first time for Falmouth. Spencer LaValle, whose family is right near us apparently.
And for the first time, even in this game, they've actually, I think, gotten a ball past the 30-yard line.
I think with the way their punting has been struggling, you really want to get into a place where it can be 4-down territory.
And their biggest gain so far was on that kick return that almost ended up in a giveaway and didn't count for them anyway.
Hasn't been the cleanest game so far. It's a pitch. Pausing and waiting for something to happen. He'll be dragged out of bounds, and that's going to be an extra flag there, and you saw it coming. Tony White finished the tackle while he was well out of bounds. So tack on 15 there.
Yeah, that's just one of those situations where I get the adrenaline's running high. You want to take him down, but at that point, you've got to let him go.
And that was another thing Jacola told us about this earlier this week when I asked him about how to control the emotion. He said he wants them to play with emotion. He just wants them to be able to channel it in the right way. Lovell punching the ball free, channeling it in the right way. That, not so much.
Yeah. We've already seen 2 personal fouls in the first quarter, both of them as a result of late hits.
So place them as the 44. And it's a pitch. Trying to beat him to the spot is Thomas, and he does. Still on his feet for a moment. Finally being swung down is Giovanni, the 5'9" junior. Lovell and Thomas combining for the tackle. And play fake, looking deep. Now he's got to sling it, and he just underthrows his man, looking for Jamison Murphy.
And he had Murphy wide open on that route, too, and he would have had room to run. That's a break for Barnstable. That was an underthrow.
It is a little bit chilly today, as we mentioned, really good weather, but the hands definitely could be getting cold out there. Obviously, on a late November day. And spinning around finds Murphy, who's got to regain his footing, and he's in trouble. He'll be dragged down well short of the first pickup of a yard, and it's 4th down.
And now the question of, will they continue to trust the punter, or are they going to go for this knowing that they are in Barnstable territory?
And North is going to stay out there. They need to get to the 34. Here, a minute to go in the first quarter. Barnstable up 6-0. North wants a timeout, and he'll get it. So Joseph Morenzi, will you take his first timeout? Here. And what have you seen so far? The good and some of the bad.
Well, the good for Barnstable is that is that even though, well, first of all, is that they have the lead. That's always a good thing. But the bad is that they could very likely be up by 3 scores right now, but the inability to convert on 2 of those drives starting inside Falmouth's territory, you've got to think, yeah, you're glad you have the 6-0 lead, but you could very easily be up by 20 plus by now. But the defense has been doing a great job up to this point. And as long as they keep playing the good defense, they can get away with not scoring that many points.
Rivalries happening all around the Cape and all around the country as we speak. Sandwich and Mashpee going at it right now, as well as the 2 islands. And faking the screen. He's in trouble. He'll go down. Barnstable gets the 4th down stop. A disaster of a play that never had a chance of working out. Kurt Campbell with the stop.
An interesting play call for a QB run on 4th and 8. Barnstable saw it all the way. They sent the pressure.
And Barnstable has their worst field position of the day, ironically enough, and it comes at the 47-yard line, 48-yard line.
Their first time starting in their own territory.
And now it's a fumble, and Falmouth came up with it. Second time Barnstable's fumbled today. It's a turnover, and Falmouth will get it right back once again.
And I believe both times were on the first plays of the drive.
That is correct. And it looked like it might have just been a botched snap. Maybe Kondo trying to move laterally a little too quickly.
That's always a question of if he tried to move before he really got the football. That's often a problem you see sometimes with receivers who know they're open, try to start running before they really have it. You don't often see it on a snap.
So they take over again as this first quarter continues to just be weird. Fakes the toss, looks to throw. It's a screen pass, juggled and caught, and breaks free from Mooney, pushes forward, needs 5 or 6 Barnstable players to bring him down. That was number 32, Cooper Young, the captain.
One thing I've seen from North so far is some of these throws look like they're almost overthrown. That one, he had to reach up to pull in, and he ended up making an excellent play out of it with all those broken tackles.
Likely the final play of the quarter. And it's a handoff that goes nowhere, but it goes for 2 yards. So make it a first down as we will switch sides of the field as the first quarter comes to an end on Turkey Day. Barnstable and Falmouth dueling it out. 6-0 Barnstable on top. We'll be back for the second quarter of play. Welcome back. Second quarter just about to go. Barnstable and Falmouth on Thanksgiving. In case you didn't know, it was Thanksgiving.
Have we got that point across?
I don't know. It's Thanksgiving, by the way.
Turkeys.
As first and 10, it's a pitch to the outside, dragging defenders with him, and he never even went down. He swung out of bounds. Lovell and White combining for the stop on Cooper Young. Pickup of 5 or 6.
And that's the second time Cooper Young has been able to break through some tackles and fight for the extra yards.
That's a 5'11" man and all of that height is from muscle. It's all muscle right there.
It's one of the best things you can have is a guy in that backfield that can strong and break through tackles.
And he keeps it. Hit initially behind the line, and that slowed him down for team tackle. Campbell, White, Roderick, and Moore combining for the stop. No gain on the play.
And so far, the QB runs have not worked out too well for Falmouth. Barnstable, I guess, has read the scouting report to know to be prepared for some keepers. And that's why they have those days of practice where you're watching the film.
So from the 30, they need to get to the 34, so make it a 3rd and 4, or pardon, the 26 rather. North under center. Hands it off, and finding an opening for a first down is Young.
And Young has put together a nice drive so far. First couple of good plays were on passes out of the backfield. That one just a run right up the gut, and he finds the space and he finds the room to keep going for a good first down game.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier it could be a relatively quick moving game. Hasn't been the case so far, but certainly if these teams kind of play cleaner football, it could get that way.
We've seen some wacky plays early in this game.
The toss to the outside, finds an opening down the sideline, and Falmouth has tied it up. All the way home goes Colin Giovanni. And just like that, it is 6-6 on the big run.
And they're utilizing both of their running backs. The first couple plays, they were utilizing Young. This time, they take advantage of Giovanni, the second running back, and he takes it all the way to finish off the drive.
So Miller out for the extra point. Snap good, hold good, kick is good, and Falmouth has the lead with 9:42 to go in the half.
And all scoring drives in this game have come on drives that started in opposing territory. Neither team has yet to score on a drive that starts in their own territory. In fact, Barnstable's one drive they started in their own territory. They turned it over on the first play.
The big F running across the Falmouth sideline. Falmouth fans have really showed out. We've got fans all the way down on the right side, all the way down to the end zone, and on the other side, all the way right around the 15. So it's a good 80 yards worth of fans watching this, and the bleachers completely filled.
If there's one road section that you can trust to fill up the crowd for a game, it's likely going to be this one, especially on Thanksgiving Day.
So 7-6, the squib attempt. I don't know if it's a squib or an onside, but here's White to the 40. No penalty on this kickoff.
And that's the second time that they've attempted that kind of kick now. You'd have to wonder if they're trying to get Barnstable to juggle the ball maybe and fumble or something.
And Barnstable's best return man, Sergio France, is out with an injury. You can see him, or I don't know if you can see him, but he is in crutches.
We saw him in the first win of the year. He had a spectacular game that night.
Yeah, you've seen him have games where he's had over 200 all-purpose yards. So he's a big loss for this offense. As here is Kondo on the rollout. Steps up. He's going to keep it. And he's going to get past midfield, spinning forward for a pickup of 12. Great start to the drive.
And a lot of Kundal's runs come on designed runs. That time, though, was supposed to be a throw, and he just didn't see anything and took matters into his own hands.
In my opinion, that's probably his biggest strength, his improvisation, his ability to find openings to run when there's nothing downfield.
Yeah. And that's what you want out of quarterbacks nowadays in football, is the ability to move around and improvise when things aren't going as planned.
Especially in this offense. Handoff Ford. Ford finds a brief hole, pickup of 5. Ford, two-sport athlete, as he'll be having a short rest before basketball season gets underway. Tryouts starting Monday. Kundal keeps. Kundal hit and chopped down at the 41. They'll bring up a 3rd and short.
Now we see if they, I think it's likely they're going to run this football. They do love running on a lot of 3rd down situations, long or short.
It's going to be a toss to Shakespeare, rather. He's in trouble. He'll lose a bunch. All the way back, they're still walking. That's almost to the original line. That's going to bring up a 4th and 9.
And yeah, I think when I had known that it was going to be a run play, because a lot of times this team will just run the football on any short yardage situation. Although 3rd and 3 is the one where you can really do either pass or throw. Although that.
And this is somewhat surprising that Barnstable is going to punt on their side of midfield. Lovell, the punter.
Especially when they're down by a point. You wouldn't think that they're going to just give them back the ball.
Kyle Coffin, the freshman long snapper, and that's going to take a Barnstable bounce. Look at that roll. Down to the 4, to the 3, to the 2-yard line. How about that from Lovell? Pinning them deep inside their 5-yard line.
And now, with the defense, with the pressure they've been able to bring to the backfield, when you've got them backed up towards their own end zone, you are in prime territory to try to get yourself 2 points and the ball back. Especially given that at this point in the game, a safety actually gives you the lead.
That was a 46-yard punt and a dandy. Stark differences in punts today.
And this is the deepest starting field position for a drive so far today.
Almost the deepest possible.
Well, Barnstable has yet to start a drive inside their own 40.
North is just going to dive forward to try to give himself a little bit more breathing room, and that'll work. Out to 6.
I have a feeling that Falmouth isn't really going to throw from where they are now. They know Barnstable has been bringing the pressure quick, and they don't want their quarterback to get stuck running around in the backfield with the end zone drawing so close behind them.
Wouldn't a safety be fitting for this game?
Yeah, it would make up for the missed 2-point conversion, I guess.
So from the 6, 2nd and 7, handoff, bouncing, and finally wrapped up. Young. Give him the 1st. That was a bigger gain than I thought. Move him all the way down to the 16.
And that'll get him.
Pickup of 10.
That'll get him some much-needed breathing room. And now you've got to think that Falmouth, with that breathing room, is going to be a lot more comfortable with throwing the ball at this point than they would have been stuck back where they were.
And the handoff is got to go for a short gain. Cooper Young again. It's been Young and Giovanni. White with the stop.
It was Young and Giovanni that really carried the workload on that touchdown drive. Young, obviously, with several big broken tackles on many different plays. And then Giovanni had the big run to finish off the drive.
North does not run it as much as Condell does himself.
They've tried it a few times, though, and it's been blown up relatively quickly each time.
Condell with the more slender build, it looks like. Dropping back, firing downfield. His man has a step, and it's through the hands of Spellman. He had a step on Martin. And if he had caught that in stride, that might have been all the way.
We've seen Barnstable have a few breaks like that on a few long bombs this year. That one, though, definitely should have been a catch.
So 3rd and 5 at the 21. The toss. Giovanni chopped down right at the line of scrimmage. So that will bring up a 4th down in this punting unit.
Well, we'll see if they can finally get off a decent punt here.
And it's a bad snap. He has to pick it up. And ironically enough, on the bad snap, that's his best punt of the day. And Lovell's going to take it at the 45, and the ball came loose again. How about that? His brother recovered. The ball came loose again. Lovell's down on the play, and he's hurt. The injured Lovell is Andrew. Maybe that's why he coughed it up.
And he's still not getting up. Players tried to help him up, but he wasn't able to bring himself up to his feet.
So with 4:05 to play, the trainer in Jacola will help him to his feet. And now his brother will assist him off the field. That could be a big loss for them.
And
we hope he's okay.
Only on one foot at the moment. That's always something that you never want to see.
So from the 47, it's a handoff to Martin. And Martin stays on his feet, cuts in for a yard, but that almost was a loss of 3 or 4.
That's a hard working play just to at least get it beyond the line of scrimmage. A lot more work than you'd want just to get 1 or 2 yards, but you'll take that rather than getting thrown back into your own territory.
Handoff forward, taken down after a short gain. So that will bring up a 3rd and long. 3rd and 8. Pickup of a yard or 2.
Now we'll see if more of that improvisation of Aiden Kundle can get them through this 3rd down.
And he's going to look to throw. Fires over the middle and has his man Shakespeare, but he couldn't hold on. He took a big shot from number 23, Asa Miller. And we have another injured player on the field. And it's Rob Key, the senior. He's holding his knee.
A bad stretch of events for Barnstable. They already have Lovell go down.
And the trainer has to stop treating Lovell to go help and assist Rob Key.
One of your starting offensive linemen.
Yeah, the only player on this team that is committed to play in college. He will be attending Williams this upcoming or next fall. So we certainly hope he's okay. Shakespeare took a shot on that play too. Luckily, he's fine. Barnstable calling for more players to help give him a hand. That is not good for the offensive lineman. He battled a hand injury early in the year. He was wearing the mitt, the soft cast, almost all season. He's hobbling off under his own power, though.
Now you've had 2 straight pretty rough injuries. One of them to your punt returner. Now you've got one to one of your starting offensive linemen.
The level that got injured is not the punter. The punter is Eric Coffin, the long snapper. You saw his near perfect punt last time. This time, it's pretty good here. It's got to be scooped up, and he's just got trot on out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 2:32 to go in the half. Barnstable down 7-6.
And so far, the offenses seem to have had a few. Well, I think a few struggles isn't quite enough. Both of them needed to start in opposing territory in order to get their touchdowns. It seems that the deeper in their own territory these offenses start, the worse things go.
Handoff. He has an opening, and Giovanni to the outside will pick up a first.
Giovanni already had the touchdown run. He's got another run to move the chains on that one. It's been more about the run offense for Falmouth than their pass offense to this point. But that's pretty standard for them.
Feels like the energy has kind of been taken out, at least on this side, with the injuries and being down. Giovanni pauses, waits for something to develop. Nothing really did. Pickup of 2. We approach 2 minutes to go in the half.
And some of the more unconventional plays seem to have calmed down, at least for the moment.
Definitely the flow has kind of eased. They're taking their time.
It is 2-minute drill time, though, so they probably shouldn't take too long.
Turns, fires, nice catch made. Near side to the 47 for being tackled out of bounds. Give him the first down as he gets a pickup of 11. Asa Miller, who had the big hit on Shakespeare.
And Falmouth, despite being within 2 minutes, they are definitely taking their time, although they did get the ball out of bounds on that last one to stop the clock.
Yeah, but even before that, they were definitely not in a hurry.
Yeah. They don't want to leave Barnstable with any time.
Play fake. Delivers. And it's picked off by Thomas. Down the sideline goes Darren Thomas. Swung down at the 35. What a huge play to turn the tide.
They needed that one. Falmouth was content with just slowly moving downfield, trying to drain the time to get their points and not let Barnstable get anything after. And knowing that Falmouth is going to get the second half kick, it's important for Barnstable to get more points on the board and go into the half with a lead.
And that ball wasn't awfully thrown, but it was just a little bit behind him. But the thing was, also a little bit behind him, the receiver, Darren Thomas, and he comes through with the pick.
And a good return to go with it to again set up Barnstable in Falmouth territory.
So 1:14 to go in the half. Barnstable with a chance to take the lead. Kondo throwing, or at least trying to. He's got to be sacked. Number 35, Jackson Mahoney with the sack. Timeout called by Jacola.
And that's not the start to this drive that they wanted. They're set up in great position. You start it with a pretty decent loss, I think, of about 7 yards. Yeah, 7 yards.
So 63 seconds to go at the 43. 2 timeouts left. Second and 17 coming up. Stay tuned at halftime. Cheerleaders will do their performance, obviously, and then the new class of 2022 for the Athletic Hall of Fame will be introduced. And a few are in attendance for this one. They'll be introduced and honored at half.
And for Barnstable, it's important that you don't leave Falmouth really any time to do something after. If you can score, you don't want to leave them with too much time. Because, again, they will get the football to start the second half.
Kondo, quick fire. Now he pumps and dumps it to Thomas, who's going to cut in and get hammered at the 41, make it the 42. Not quite back to the original line. Timeout, Jacola. They'll use their second with 54 seconds to go. It'll still be a third and long.
And even after this, there's the question of what are they going to do after this third down, especially if the result of the play is something like an incomplete pass.
So it'll be a third and 14 after the pickup of 3. Receivers out wide on the far side. Looking, firing deep. No one's down there. And Barnstable will be forced to either go for it here or punt. Looking for Thomas.
If I had to decide, I think I might punt here just because you don't want to set them up with good position and with a good amount of time to work with, number one. And number two, we've already seen them pin them deep in their own territory.
Jacola thinking the same as you.
We'll see if they can get another good punt out.
And it's a fake. And it's going to go nowhere. They were faking it to number 50, Ronell Armstrong, the freshman. It was a direct snap. and they were fooled for a moment, some of the Falmouth players, but Armstrong just couldn't find the hole.
I know Jacola is hot.
Chicola's frustrated with number 35 there. I don't know if it went to the wrong person or what. There was a flag on the play, I believe.
Against Barnstable.
And that's got to be a 15-yarder. And maybe that is why he was so frustrated.
Well, now you set them up now in opposing territory, and with 41 seconds left, that really just an all-around disastrous turnout of that fourth down. I believe Falmouth still has timeouts remaining.
I believe they have 2 from my memory.
Well, they certainly have enough time and are in a good position to get at least something out of this drive.
At the 43 with 41 seconds to go. And it's a trick play. Now looking to throw as Spellman has a man open, and it's somehow caught. There was 2 defenders down there, Thomas and Lovell, and somehow it was the receiver, number 86, Colby Fender, with the reception.
And I thought at first glance that he was going to underthrow that and that Darren Thomas was in line for his second interception of the day.
It looked like Barnstable's defenders almost couldn't find that ball. Because that was hanging up in the air like it was a punt. With all due respect to Spellman, that wasn't a perfect throw.
Yeah, I thought for sure that was underthrown, and with 2 defenders back, the first thing that pops into the mind is another interception. But I guess that Fender must have done a good job getting back to it.
And Barnstable just has to be really upset with the way they've played in this first half. Feels like they just have had missed opportunity after missed opportunity.
Especially given their first 3 drives, each starting so deep in Falmouth territory, they could very easily already have 20 points on the board.
The beauty about this game is it doesn't matter how, as long as you win. North comes under center. And he fumbles the snap. It's still loose. It looked like he fell on it. And he did.
We've seen a few fumbled snaps today.
Can you say sloppy? Both sides.
There's certainly going to be I don't think either coach is really going to have that pleasant of a talk with their teams in the locker room.
We might be able to hear Jacola's yelling from here at halftime.
We all know when Jacola gets upset, he definitely makes it well known that he is upset.
So 25 seconds to go. Second down and 12. Coming out of the timeout. Both teams have went deep into their playbooks with some trickery today. The 10 a.m. start, we talked about briefly earlier how it was going to affect them. Seems like it certainly has so far. Looking at throw, and it's a touchdown.
And that was 2.
Falmouth scores. It's got to be an unsportsmanlike penalty. It's going to be excessive celebration. The count, I believe. He kind of went down on his knees. A little too much theatrics. Touchdown is good. So it's just got to be on the kickoff. Crowd gets excited. Hope they realize touchdown still counts.
Yeah.
Or I believe Barnstable might have a choice whether to make it on the kickoff or on the conversion. Barnstable likely will take it on the conversion.
Although I don't know, I might consider taking it on the kickoff maybe to get better starting position once they kick the ball back. Well, they will do it on the conversion.
So they sent their offense out there, then they brought their kicking team out, then they're going to send their kicking team back out.
Because they'd rather attempt the longer extra point than
There's a lot of confusion going on right here.
It was either you have to convert about a 17-yard 2-point try.
Yeah.
Or you have to kick a decently long, nearly NFL distance extra point attempt.
Right here, the ball is spotted at the 17, as you mentioned. So it basically, essentially is that length field goal. 33 or 34 yards. So they keep their offense out there. A North will come under center. If they get this, it's a 2-possession game. Drops back. One-on-one coverage into the end zone and incomplete. J.J. Martin running step for step with Spellman. So it will remain a 1-possession game, 19 seconds to go in the first half.
I think they learned on the 2-point conversion from that touchdown, because on the touchdown, the coverage just was flat out burned over the middle. That time they look more towards the outside, where the coverage is a lot tighter than it was on the touchdown.
Remember, Falmouth gets the ball out of half. That's got to be a huge drive there, because it's got to be a 13-6 game, barring Barnstable getting a big return here or able to somehow score in these 19 seconds with no timeouts.
And again, for Barnstable, the theme so far has to be missed opportunities. They could have very easily gotten a quick, at least maybe like 18 at the nothing lead or something along those lines.
And we're feeling the lack of Tajardo France. That's got to be bobbled. Shakespeare's got to pick it up now. And he's going to go down at the 30. 11 seconds to go, and they're going to be content, I'm sure.
A flag came in.
Holding penalty on Barnstable. So back them up. Doesn't make a massive difference here. It's likely they're just going to hand it off and go into halftime.
Yeah, not much they can do from this distance unless they get off some sort of trick play, or they can get a big penalty on the play that they do decide to run.
Yeah, it would essentially have to be a big run and then getting up and spiking it.
Yeah, either that, or what you do sometimes is maybe you just throw downfield and hope for a defensive pass interference to move you downfield. But
I think content wouldn't be the right word, but maybe just they're fine, I guess, with going into half. The kneel down and wasn't pretty, but after one half of play on Thanksgiving, it's 13-6, Falmouth on top of Barnstable. We will be back for the second half here between Barnstable and Falmouth in the 127th annual meeting between these two teams.
Hall of Fame inductees. Fans, please welcome to the field today, class of 2015, Owen Murray, and class of 2016, Tally Toomey. Also being inducted into the Hall of Fame this year, but unfortunately weren't able to make it here today, from the class of 2010, Anna Kavanaugh, class of 2007, Kara Cohen, class of 2000, Stephen Gomes, class of 2014, Amanda Henson, class of 2008, Morgan Kendrew, class of 2009, Casey Ostrander, and class of 2007, Stephanie Scarpato. Also varsity coach Kim Sullivan. And the W. Leo Shields Memorial Lifetime Achievement Award, Sean Walsh, BHS Hall of Fame founding member. Fans, how about a big round of applause for your class of 2022 Barnstable High School Athletic Hall of Fame. And again, please welcome on our field, class of 2015, Owen Murray, and class of 2016, Tally Toomey. '22 Barnstable High School Red Raider cheerleaders. Fans, hold a big round of applause for your Barnstable High School Red Raider cheerleaders. And now, fans, please welcome to the field your Falmouth High School Marching Band.
just want to say happy Thanksgiving. Oh my God, it was beautiful. Hi. Oh, hello. No, it was always beautiful. Jack. Yes. He is. Oh my God. We were at the Radisson We were in like the we were like on the hotel rise. Oh my God. Like but it was good. Yeah. Nice to spend too much. Yeah. So that was good. That was like
And welcome back to Thanksgiving Day football coverage on Barnstable B2B TV, channel 22. Daniel Bottolino, Marcus Lyons with you as we wish you a happy Thanksgiving. And a not so happy Thanksgiving so far for Barnstable. Here, down 13-6. They scored first, but then 13 straight, and it's just been overall a sloppy game.
Yeah, it's been rough. We had several mistakes that were made on both sides. You had bad punts, had a lot of fumbles, some personal fouls. Overall, I think both teams' coaches talked to their teams saying that they need to clean up how they've been playing. Because really neither team has looked all that pretty.
Barnstable will kick off down 13-6. Will Robke and Andrew Lavelle fighting injuries right now. So this is a team that was already shaken up, now even more so, as that's going to be scooped up at the 7, stops and now takes off down the sideline, and he'll go out of bounds at the 21-yard line, and that's where Falmouth will take over.
And now we have another injury.
Up under his own power, that's Jadis Roderick. Looks like he's grabbing somewhere on his chest.
Well, last thing they need is more people getting hurt.
So, first play from scrimmage, third quarter. Big possession here, as we mentioned before half. Trying to make it a 2-possession game. North under center. And it's a handoff. Staying on the move for pickup of 8. Cooper Young with the carry.
Well, Cooper Young was the catalyst on their first touchdown drive, doing a lot of the work on several screen passes. And then, of course, the other running back was the one who finished off the drive.
Just an update on the injuries. Lovell had to walk off on crutches, as that's going to be a loss. Shakespeare with the stop. Had to walk off on crutches into the locker room during half. Robke walking under his own power. Robke's is a knee injury. Lovell's is an ankle.
Yeah.
Robke has walked under his own power, but with a big limp. 3rd and 4 coming up. A big 3rd and 4 at that.
Lovell's still sitting on the bench.
And it's got to be short, or it's got to be right at the marker. They haven't signaled to move the chains. And it looks like he's just short. And he is. It's 4th down. They might bring out the chain gang.
This definitely, I do think it's short, but they're definitely going to measure this. It's worth noting also in regards to the injuries that Robke has been seen walking around the sidelines. Granted, he was still limping, but he is up and moving.
And he has the helmet on, which matters too. The big offensive lineman, their star offensive lineman, a captain. I can't imagine they give them the first here.
And they're definitely taking their time to look at it, though. And they're going to bring out the chains.
And it looks like it's short from our angle. Obviously, we're not right down on the field.
Couldn't quite see the ball. Jadis Roderick was actually standing right in the way.
If you thought things couldn't start any slower than they did in the first quarter, I raise you a measurement. So 4th down and less than a yard. North is going to sneak and he's going to get it. So move the chains for Falmouth. Pitch. Giovanni cuts and it's going to be pushed back out of bounds. It's Ford, White, and Martin down there. Pickup of 3.
And these two teams, they've been kind of moving the ball very slowly up the field. Granted, when they have been moving the ball up the field, because, well, I mean, moving the ball in general has been a struggle. But when they do move it, it almost feels like they're moving it just very short distances at a time.
Yeah, not a lot of chunk plays. Hand off to Giovanni. LaValle slowed him down, but couldn't bring him down. But White can. That's going to be right at the marker, though. Maybe a yard short. So 3rd down and a yard coming up. LaValle had a chance to stop him for a gain of maybe a yard or 2, but could not.
And now you've got another 3rd and very short. And knowing how Falmouth has played so far, I'm going to place my bets on run.
And they busted through the line, and they're going to stop them. That's got to be 4th down.
And well, Barnstable, I guess, followed suit of placing the bets on a run play.
No surprise, they're going to keep their offense out. He might have lost a yard. They at first moved forward, did the line judge, and then he seemed to move back. This is a little bit longer to try a QB sneak. It's about a yard and a half.
And now the question is, if you are Falmouth on this play, do you either try to run it again or do you try throwing it? As it's getting loud in here now.
It's an earthquake happening on our scoreboard camera. Try a hard count, cannot, and they have to use the timeout. Barnstable high fives all around. So they might punt here, and if so, not the most climatic or exciting 4th down stop, but sometimes not jumping is what you need to do.
And if they do punt, though, they got to see if they can finally get themselves a truly great punt. No punt they've had yet has made it past the 50. And obviously their first 2, I don't think they'll even want to even think about those punts.
No. They need to get to the 42, 43, somewhere in between those two yard lines. The offense staying out there. So the camera shakes again. And it's going to the outside. He's in trouble. Giovanni is pushed back. And Giovanni did not get there. Silva there. And the defense holds. What a huge play.
Well, the coaches certainly loved what they saw there. And I don't even know if he had even really gotten past the line of scrimmage. He got met quickly. But now the atmosphere is back alive after it had kind of calmed down near the end of that first half.
Kondo alone in the backfield. Fakes QB design run. And he never went down. So he'll pick up an extra yard or so. So pick up a 3. Not bad on first down. Shakespeare. He's in trouble. He's got to be dragged down and way behind the line. That is a massive loss.
They've had multiple plays like that where they run those footballs outside to Shakespeare, and he just gets blown up for huge losses.
It just feels like he doesn't have the explosiveness that he had prior to his injury. It feels like he's not all the way back.
And that is also what really speaks to how big of it is to have the loss of Tejardo France today. Is even if Shakespeare is struggling, you can always have France to make the big plays for you, but he's not playing today.
Robke's on the sideline as well, so it's not a banged up Barnstable team trying to scrap their way to victory. Kundal has to get rid of it, does to Martin. He's going to get back to the original line, then some, spins forward to the 35, and now you're at 4th down and manageable.
And that's really what they sort of needed and expected to have happen, was you just get a playoff that can at least get you in a more manageable distance on 4th down, so to where you don't necessarily have to punt this football away.
So a big pickup of 12 there, 13. And it's a toss in. Martin fumbles. And now he's in trouble. And Barnstable can't convert.
So many unforced errors today, it feels like.
Number 5, J.J. Martin brought down the play by number 55.
And now Falmouth gets the football back.
5:25 to go in the 3rd. They'll get it at the 46-yard line. North. Snap. Pressure comes. Gets rid of it. It's complete. Cuts in. And Campbell tried to poke the ball free. Could not. It's a gain of 9. Cooper Young on the reception.
Well, takeaway, I think Campbell has the right mindset that a takeaway is what Barnstable needs to get their energy back going. It just feels like they don't have the momentum on their side.
North keeps it. He faked everyone out. He'll have a 1st down. And the life has been sucked out right now.
And Falmouth knows it. They can sense that they have the momentum on their side. And someone here needs to make a very big play for Barnstable if they want to keep themselves kind of in this game.
Handoff. Barnstable just can't bring these guys down at initial contact.
And it's almost starting to feel like a near mirror image of the game against Brockton. Struggling to bring down people on the first tackle attempts. The offense is struggling to
And
really
another injury.
Oof. Yeah, it almost just feels similar to the Brockton game. You can't bring guys down on the first attempts. Struggling to get points on the board.
Tony White off under his own power, but he's obviously limping.
He dealt with an ankle injury already earlier in the season.
Now he's on the ground.
You'd have to wonder if it might be that same ankle.
Toss. This has got to be blown up. It's Thomas and it's LaValle. Big loss.
And this is going to be a big-time third down. You need the stop here. You need to, again, keep them off the scoreboard. And then you need your offense to step up. I know there's a lot of injuries for you on that side of the ball at the moment, but you can't let that stop you from doing what needs to be done and, at the very least, trying to tie this game.
So 3rd and 6 for Falmouth. He's throwing. Has a man wide open towards the sideline, and that's got to be caught, and you could see it from a mile away. Busted coverage for Barnstable.
I don't know who was supposed to be over there, but someone was out of position and left a man wide open. I believe that was number 86, Fender again. But regardless of who it is, whoever was supposed to be covering him, I guess just missed the assignment.
And clock continues to run here in the 3rd quarter. Handoff up the middle, broken tackles. It's a touchdown. It's Cooper Young again. They jump up 2 scores.
And now Barnstable really needs to get their minds back in the flow of the game. Falmouth has all the momentum carrying their way. It's just been a struggle so far.
19 unanswered right now for the Clippers. Extra point is going to be short. And now it's returnable, but they're going to whistle it dead for some reason. They're going to take it all the way. It's going to be Roderick and Lovell just taking it all the way regardless. Jacola's wondering why they stopped that play. I'm kind of wondering the same thing right now.
I guess they took it all the way back just in case, but no, there won't be any 2 points that they get for this. Roderick.
Jacola seems pleased with the explanation.
Roderick's still limping as he leaves the field.
I don't know why Roderick was running with him. So 19-6. Still a lot of time left in this game, but Barnstable's offense needs to get going.
They need to get going fast because they don't have – I know they still have a whole quarter left after this, but you don't want to take your time at this point, down 2 scores. Because you want to get the momentum back fast enough to where you can try to take the lead back.
Short kick. Gobbled up by White. Finding an opening. Breaking a tackle. Past midfield, and Barnstable will get good field position.
And you'd think Falmouth at this point would learn that they shouldn't be
And
doing these short kicks anymore.
he went back and forth, White and the tackler, Mahoney. Mahoney has a valid point pointing to the scoreboard.
Yeah.
So at the 45, Barnstable will take over. Kundal with with Martin next to him. That's where the ball will go. Martin out to the 40. Make it the 41. Pickup of 4.
I think most importantly, not only just to get your team back in the game, but to bring this crowd back to life. Because in football, a crowd can influence a team and make things difficult for the road team.
Keeping it. That was not the best idea. Loses a yard.
And as I'd said earlier, it feels like Falmouth is more ready for the designed QB runs than if they call a pass play and then Kundal just decides to take off later. Because the one time they did that, it ended up being, I think, a 12-yard gain. The design runs just haven't been there.
So now nearing a minute to go in the third. Kundal will throw and hit Thomas for a first down out to the 30.
A huge conversion there. They needed that one.
Handoff Ford. Ford with an opening. Ford gets blasted. Pickup of 7.
Yikes.
For 17.
That was a crushing hit. He was in midair, knocked right to the ground. He got right back up, though.
Keeper. Opening for Kundal. Kundal picks up the first. Kundal inside the 10. And they'll see. Let's see if they try to get one more playoff before the end of the quarter. Clock is running. They won't be able to get it off. That's the end of the third quarter, but Barnstable driving with some momentum as we enter the fourth on Barnstable B2B TV. We'll be back for the fourth quarter here on Thanksgiving. So fourth quarter set to go. Barnstable has the ball at the 9, first and goal, trying to score and bring it back to a possession. Martin comes in motion. Here's Kundal keeping and down at the 5. Pickup of 4. $19-6 right now. Barnstable behind Falmouth.
It was very important that they get in the end zone this drive.
And here's Ford looking for an opening. Ford down to the 1. So 3rd and goal from the 1.
And I think at this point you can just sneak it with Kundal if you want.
But he's along the backfield now. Here comes Ford. He will keep it, and he is in. Touchdown, Barnstable. They bring it within a possession.
And a desperately needed touchdown at that. A great drive put together by this team. And now they're back within 1 score. And now the defense has to hold up and set up this offense again.
There and this is they're going to have to kick it. I don't believe this.
Oh my goodness. Now how much you want to bet?
Now I don't know what Dom Ford, who's usually the center,
how much
you got to swing in motion.
How much you want to bet they're going to fake this?
No, they're not. Here's Hagen Diaz's extra point, and it's good. For the first time this season, Barnstable nails an extra point, and it is 19-12. Hagen Diaz, the new kicker. The freshman running back who's been doing kickoffs today just nailed the extra point. It barely sneaks over, but barely is good enough.
I can't believe my eyes. I've never seen someone more excited for an extra point that wasn't a game winner.
No. Jacola jumped up and down with his hands in the air as that went through the uprights.
I think he's more glad that he made the right call than anything else.
I did notice Coffin and Kundo working on the snap and the hold at halftime. There is life for Barnstable.
And now it's just about the defense. A stop is needed.
Sends it away to the up man, who's going to take it out of bounds at the 42. So huge possession coming up. 10:52 to go in regulation. 19-13. Falmouth on top.
The defense has done a decent enough job today of getting the stops. Obviously, the exceptions of those few drives with the touchdowns.
Falmouth's done a good job of wearing Barnstable's defense down on these long drives. So you get, if you can stop them early on the drives. And now they fumble the ball. It's loose. He's got to recover it. Cooper Young recovered it, and that was nearly a disaster. Officials timeout for an injured Barnstable player again.
And this is the last thing they need, is to see another injury, and that is Tony White again.
This time it looks worse than last time. It might just be cramping as they've just been stretching him out.
Well, they've seen a lot of starters go down today.
$10:37 to go. It will be a 2nd and 12. And play resumes. It's the trainer and the AD Sentes.
And in regards to the injuries at this point, so Lovell is in crutches although he is on the sidelines still.
Probably waiting to go to the hospital till after the game.
Robke, interestingly, has looked like he might go back in, but hasn't yet.
And I do wonder if that's just pure wishful thinking by Robke.
It'd be nice, though.
Yes. Fakes the pitch. Look at the throw. Campbell brings pressure. They get it to Young. There's a flag on the play as he's bottled up. Roger came out with the football. That's not going to be Barnstable ball. Let's see what the flag is.
They gave a signal for holding. I don't know who they called it on, though.
It's the rare defensive holding.
On a screen pass at that. That'd be interesting to see.
Talk about shooting yourself in the foot. If that is the case.
I didn't quite see who they signaled it against. I know they signaled for holding. They didn't clearly call it against a specific team from what they were doing earlier.
Illegal, I believe that was an illegal receiver downfield, actually. So that's got to bring up if they accept it, that's going to be a second very long. If they decline it, it'll be a 3rd and 12.
I almost think you might try to take the 3rd and 12.
I was thinking that too.
Because they lose yards anyway, and you get the down.
And they've been able to get a couple of deep shots with success. Long discussion happening. Things aren't as simple as they seem, I guess.
Well, we've had quite a few long discussions. We had the one at the start of the game, then the measurements. You've had several injury stoppages.
Looks like Barnstable, Barnstable's going to decline it. So it'll be a 3rd and 12.
Ineligible receiver downfield penalty against the Clippers. Penalty has been declined. Brings up 3rd down and 10 from the Clippers. 43
So 3rd and 10. Crowd gets up.
Scoreboard is shaking again.
They got receivers stacked out wide. It's a screen. Complete. No, it's incomplete. It went through his hands. Barnstable will force a 4th down. Looking for Spellman, who's had a couple of drops today.
And that is the most costly so far. I don't know if he would have gotten to the 1st down.
And now the punting, which has been inconsistent.
Well, if you're Barnstable, this would be the perfect time.
And now it's a high snap, gets it down, and it's got to be a pop-up. They're going to let it bounce. It's going to take a friendly Falmouth bounce, but it will bounce out of play. And Barnstable will take over with 9:46 to go in a 6-point game.
And that's the fortunate thing for Barnstable is that it was so close to the sidelines because if not, it could have kept rolling forward. But this crowd is back alive, and Barnstable just has to get in the end zone. And then as long as they can convert the point after, the lead is theirs.
So from the 28-yard line, 1st and 10, Kundo alone. Martin comes in motion. That's where the ball goes. Trying to get around the edge. He does. Now it's got to be banged out of bounds. There's a flag on the play. Shakespeare sitting on the ground.
Number 5, J.J. Martin, the ball carrier, flag on the play.
It's got to be a holding on Barnstable.
And something Barnstable desperately needs to avoid at this point is taking penalties, as you can't afford to have good plays wiped out.
It's a spot foul, so it's not going to be a 1st and 20. Back it up to the 21. So make it a 1st and 17. Kundle sends Martin in motion. Looked like a busted play. Martin didn't go swing in motion at the right time. It looked like it's going to be no gain. Second and 17. Looking to throw. Fires. No one down there looking for Shakespeare. 3rd and long.
And he was hit as he released that football. Had he gotten that off cleanly with no pressure, there is a good chance he might have been able to complete that. And now another big 3rd and long.
You think that unless they get the first down, they do punt here.
Yeah, you're too far back to take the risk of going for it. Unless you get right up towards that first down line, I don't think you do it.
It's a pitch. Shakespeare trying to get him out in space. That'll be a short pickup. They'll get back almost to the original line of scrimmage, but they will be forced to punt. Gets it away, and it's not a very good punt, but look at that bounce. Man, he gets some really good ones. It's down at the 41.
Starting to think maybe it's just that side of the field that's difficult to punt on. That was the side
Definitely could be.
That was the side of the field where Falmouth had their 2 rough punts. And that one took a very favorable bounce to get just outside of the Falmouth 40.
So 7:52 to go. 4th quarter, 1st and 10 from the 41 for Falmouth. Handoff for a yard. Cooper Young with the carry. Play fake. Turns, looks, gets rid of it, and it's batted down, incomplete. 3rd and 9 coming up.
That was nearly intercepted too, and if he had caught that, that was a pick 6 for sure. Regardless, though, it's an excellent defensive play, and yet another huge 3rd down for this defense.
So 3rd and 9. Rolling. Being chased. Hit as he threw. And it's incomplete. Barnstable gets the stop. LaValle's hobbled.
That was Ford with an excellent breakup on that play. Just short. The throw itself was just short of the marker, but Ford jumped in, got his hand in there. And that's just a spectacular breakup.
So Hoffman will punt. Under 7 to go.
Barnstable's lining up a lot of people at the line. I think they're going to try to block this.
And that's why the timeout comes from Falmouth. They need extra protection. Shakespeare, the return man. The punt taken at the 26. And he's tripped up right there. Tackle is made by number 41 on special teams, Austin Zielinski. So Barnstable with 6:48 to go takes over, down 6, 1st and 10 from the 27. Well, you wanted drama, here's drama in this rivalry game, the 94th meeting. Takes the snap. Kondo steps up, goes down after a loss of 4.
And again, not a great start. Last time you had a play wiped out for a penalty. This time a sack. And time is a factor.
Kondo sends a man in motion. In trouble. Breaking tackles. Tried to get to 25. He'll pick up a yard and he'll bring up a 3rd and long. Third and 12. They need to get to 37. Looking to throw. Fires deep. Has Shakespeare! First down! Down the sideline! Here goes Shakespeare! Out of bounds! Inside the 30! What a huge play on 3rd and 12!
And they had several plays close to that. They couldn't connect earlier, but they connect on this one. And it just so happens to be the biggest gain of this ball game.
Mark him down at the 19-yard line.
And you want to talk about the biggest play so far.
Here's Ford finding an opening. Pushed forward to the 15.
You know, it's not often that this team gets explosive pass gains like that, but boy, do they need that one to happen.
Keep it. Kundal. Nothing. Third. Maybe a pickup of a yard. Third and 5, third and 6. Obviously 4 down territory here. Timeout, Barnstable. Rivalry at its finest.
And, you know, so far this season, we've had yet to call one of these types of games that might come down to that last drive. But now, I guess it's only fitting that it takes place on Thanksgiving Day against Falmouth.
So true. So true.
Especially given that for some of these guys, it is going to be their last game.
They need the 9. It's Martin. Now it's the trickery. Kunda laying a block. They will pick up 3. Karan Ford with the carry. So 4th and 4.
And now you've got by far the biggest 4th down of the day.
And now there was a jump. There was a jump, and it looked like it was on Falmouth. Barnstable's sideline jumping up and down.
It looked like Grant was upset for Falmouth, number 22. Something tells me that they're right to suspect that this might be offsides. And it is. They're moving.
Give Barnstable the first down on the penalty on 4th down. Unbelievable.
And you want to talk about the biggest break that this team may have gotten. They get the offsides on 4th and 4, and now that's 1st and goal.
Here's Martin. Martin with the hole. Martin's in. Touchdown, Barnstable. We're tied at 19. 3:41 to go.
And now it's all about the conversion. The only question is which style of conversion do they go with?
Hagen Diaz is on the field. Martin, with his 2nd of the day, has knotted this game up.
And now the first game where they're actually attempting extra points. You've got the biggest one this season.
Coffin the snapper, Kundal the holder, Diaz the kicker. It's down. And it's no good. He missed it. We are tied at 19.
Falmouth had gotten pressure off the edge. I think that might have influenced the direction of that kick. He tried to kick it away from the guy coming in for the block, and he ended up driving it wide.
Regardless, Barnstable has come back to tie it. 13 straight. Don't go anywhere.
And now the defense has another chance to get a huge stop to set up Barnstable to try to secure a win.
And does Diaz have the confidence right now on the kickoff?
You know, you had said earlier that a lot of these games somehow tend to be blowouts.
Announcer strengths. That's on me.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not complaining about this one though.
No, you look at last year, 42-7. The year before, Barnstable dominated. The year before, they cruised again. Last time Falmouth won, it was 36-14. This time, no matter what happens, it's not going to be a blowout. Sends it away, and that's a good boot. To the 15. Martin slows him down, cuts in at the 34-yard line. There's a flag at the end of the play, and that might be going back. There was a late flag on, it was Jadis Roderick and number 45, Connor LeBlanc, and that might back them up even more because Roderick was the one that hit the ground.
And for Falmouth, that would be upsetting because that return actually got all the way out towards near the 35.
That would put them inside the 20.
And that is huge.
Wow. Put them at the 19. How the tables have turned here. What has turned now to afternoon. Jacoa hyping up this crowd. 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. 3:34 to go. Aiden North under center is going to pitch it to Giovanni. Giovanni's going to get to the outside. Giovanni's going to pick up a nice gain. So basically back where they would have started. Out of bounds too, so the clock stops.
Well, Falmouth needed that after these last couple drives of just getting stifled right away. They needed to have a gain like that to
out to 39. That's a 20-yard pickup. He's going to keep it. Now he pitches. Giovanni is not going to go anywhere. Driven back. Silva down on the play. Under 3 minutes to go.
And they're moving quick now.
Pitch. Giovanni with a little fumble. He's going to get out of bounds. No, the clock's going to continue to run. So he didn't get out of bounds. It's a 3rd down and short. And they continue to go quick. He got tackled a little shorter than I thought. 3rd and 3. North keeps. North picks up the 1st. So the clock will stop temporarily while they spot. Now they start it again. Looking to throw. Firing deep. It's caught! Battling! Touchdown! Unbelievable! Spellman! Unreal! Falmouth takes the lead with 2 minutes to go.
And that is a disastrous play for Barnstable.
They struggled to stop the deep ball all afternoon.
And they found the perfect seam in the coverage to be able to get a perfect throw on that. And despite the great effort by the defense to try to bring him down, he kept fighting forward.
So the extra point. Bad snap, and it's blocked. And now it's still a live ball again, but they're going to whistle it dead. I think Lovell hates that rule.
I'm with him.
So 25-19 your score. 2 minutes to go. Drama at Barnstable.
And I'm really with him because if they got these returns, then that would be 4 extra points, which means a field goal would be enough to win. But now they've got to go the distance and convert.
Barnstable with, I believe, 2 timeouts. They might have all 3.
I do believe it is 2. I think they have used at least 1. Regardless, they've got enough timeouts and enough time.
Martin, the deep man. Do they kick? Do they kick it to the up men? Like prior. They do. But they place it perfectly. So now Martin has to scoop at the 20. And he'll get to the 24. 1 minute, 55 seconds to go. 2 timeouts. Here is your game for Barnstable. 1 drive to try to tie it.
Well, this is pretty much all the crowd had asked for.
Drama at its finest. Rivalry at its finest. Barnstable and Falmouth, it doesn't get better than this. One of the all-time classics developing in front of our eyes right here. And Kundo's going to get stuffed. Jacola's going to use his second timeout.
And again, that is not the way you want to start this drive. Last time, though, they did get the big play to Shakespeare. If they can get another one of those, they are right in business.
Obviously, easier said than done. 2nd and 16 will be coming up here. From the 19, they got to go 81.
And even if they go that 81, they need to convert on the point after to win the game.
Roll out. Kundo delivers complete to Thomas at the 30. Takes a hit. Clock will run.
And they got to line up quick.
They're going to move the chains, actually.
Huh.
So 1st down. Keeps it. Kundo through the hole. Now they got to continue to move.
You know, I guess it makes sense. The gains always look shorter from up here than they actually are. So
Game of 5. 70 seconds to go. Kundo sending Shakespeare the other way. Takes the snap. Rolling out. Looking to throw. Does. Hits Thomas at midfield. The clock will stop temporarily. Jacola telling him to spike it. Jacola telling him to spike it with 54 to go. They got to get set, though. They do. Spikes it with 50 seconds to go. What a finish here from Barnstable High.
And what else could you want from the last game of the year?
In our last game, calling football, we've waited all year for a game like this. Those games over the middle could work as long as they keep going quick. 2nd and 10. Rolling. Kundo. He's got to keep. He's got to try to get out of bounds and does. He got out of bounds. Pick up a 5. Third down, 42 seconds showing on the clock. Third down and 4. Kundal sets. Nothing doing. Stays on his feet. Gotta get rid of it. It's a fumble. And no, they're going to call it incomplete. And Barnstable just got a massive break. That looked like a fumble to me.
That definitely looked like a fumble. I don't think that ball ever went forward.
So 32 seconds left. It's a 4th and 6. And here is your ball game for Barnstable. Now a flag comes in late. Flag comes in right there.
Well, now we see.
Now, is it going to be grounding or is it going to be on the sideline warning? It's going to be a sideline warning on Falmouth. So that doesn't mean a thing for this, for our purposes.
Their coach might have just been upset that wasn't called a fumble. Granted, I get it. That didn't look like he threw that football.
So, yeah, understandably upset. For our purposes, doesn't really matter, as that's not going to move the ball at all. 4th and 6. Kundal rolls, looking, delivers, complete. Martin has the first down. It looks like Martin has the first down.
Falmouth thinks he might have been short, but I think Forward Progress says he got it.
There's whistles.
Are they going to discuss this?
I thought he got it from our angle. Officials timeout. 22 seconds to go. This is unbelievable.
It looked like he was there.
I thought he had it.
I would think Forward Progress, right?
If so, you got to get in position to spike it immediately. First down, Barnstable.
And now you've got to hurry up. Although, do they still have a timeout left?
They do have a timeout left, but they probably don't want to use it right here. As soon as the clock gets moving, I think they're going to try to spike it. Clock is rolling. "17 seconds to go," but the chains had not moved. The chain gang had not moved.
So they have 17 seconds and a timeout to go about 37 yards here.
Eventually, you got to take a shot. Rolling. Kundal sets, fires over the middle. Shakespeare caught it. It's down at the 28. There's 10 seconds. The clock should have.
This is going to be a Falmouth timeout because there's an injury.
Falmouth player is down on the field. 9 seconds to go. I thought an extra second ticked off.
And if Barnstable does have a timeout left, that gives them a break because that's going to, I believe.
That'll count against Falmouth. That means you can go over the middle for a play here if you're Barnstable. They're sitting at the 24-yard line with 9 seconds to go. Probably 2 plays left.
What a catch that was by Shakespeare, though. Leaping up into the air and taking the hit, and he held on. Unlike the one earlier in the game where he left up, took the hit, and then couldn't hold on.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling the nerves right now.
I think the question also is whether or not they're going to put any time back on. Granted, 9 seconds is enough for multiple plays, regardless. Although concern shifts to the injury
Yeah.
as he's taking
We
quite
cer-
a while.
We certainly hope he's okay. That's number 88. That's Jaden Bernhardt, the 6'4" receiver / D lineman.
And so he'll be helped off the field as now energy shifts back to these last couple plays.
They're waiting for him to get off the field. It's Shakespeare near side. It's Martin, Thomas, Lovell, Farr, with Ford lined up in a tight end position. They're going to spike it with 7 to go. I don't know why you it feels like you should have been able to get a play ready there.
With the stoppage, I would have thought they had something set up. And now they call the timeout.
Barnstable, this is got to be essentially their last play. Maybe giving themselves 2 tries in the case of an incompletion, but you feel like now they have to go to the end zone.
Yeah, theoretically, I guess if they went quick enough, they could get a throw to the sidelines, but I don't know. I feel like almost you should have held the timeout to run one quick play, maybe over the middle, call timeout.
My thing is, I feel like you had a good minute and a half there. You should have had a play ready.
Well, now we have to see what they do because it's either they're going to take 2 shots at the end zone or a quick throw to the sidelines to get a bit closer and then stop the clock and then the throw for the game.
So here we go. 7 seconds to go from the 23. Kundal looking to Shakespeare. Incomplete. We're down to 2 seconds.
So they are going to go the 2 shots to the end zone route here. I do feel like they could have tried to get a little closer on a sideline throw.
So here will be your ball game for the rivalry. Crowds on their feet on both sides. This is for Barnstable and Falmouth glory.
Obviously, next year will be at Falmouth's stadium as they alternate each year.
2024, the next time we see them at home. Ford doesn't know which side to get on. Now a flag comes in, and this might push Barnstable back. Delay of game. He can throw it 28 yards.
That's true, but that still hurts because now you've got to get more air on the throw. From 23, you could theoretically try to line drive something.
Yeah. It's not as much of a Hail Mary from 23. Falmouth will use a timeout. What a game this has been, regardless. Great effort from both sides. It's a banged up Barnstable team.
And again, the captain offensive lineman on the sidelines.
I think they'll tell you, and they tell you before this game even happened, that if they were healthy, this is a bit of a different story. But what a game it's been. It's been a pleasure broadcasting it. Back and forth. Barnstable with a good comeback in the second half to tie at 19. Then with 2 minutes to go, it was Cole Spellman from Aiden North getting them the potential game-winning touchdown if Barnstable can't score here.
This could be the last 2 seconds of the season. Let's see how they end it. Everyone lined up all on that far side.
So here we go. Kondo. He's going to go to the end zone. It'll make it there. And it's batted down. Falmouth will win. Falmouth has won the football game. And the streak has ended. They will grab the trophy. They will win the game. The season ends. Barnstable falls to 3-8. And Falmouth takes the 127th edition of this rivalry game.
And that throw, it wasn't the worst throw ever, but it was right where there were too many defenders there. And I don't think really the nearest receiver was close enough to that ball to really.
Yeah. Well, that will do it for us for this fall season as a whole. Thank you all for watching. Marcus, thank you. It's been a pleasure calling these games with you. And we will see you in a few weeks to bring you basketball and hockey. Until then, I'm Daniel Bailino with Marcus Lyons saying happy Thanksgiving wherever you are.
Enjoy your turkey.